Imagine this. You walk into a clean, quiet store somewhere in the United States. The lights are bright, everything looks good, and you see something you really want. Maybe it's a pair of sneakers, maybe it's a new phone, maybe it's something small but exciting. You check your pocket. No cash. For a moment, you feel stuck. Then you remember, you have a card. You pull it out, tap it on the machine, and just like that, the item is yours. No cash left your hand. No money left your bank account. You walk out feeling good. It almost feels like you got something for free. But here's the truth most people don't fully understand. You didn't get it for free. You borrowed money. And that small moment, the simple swipe of a card, is where everything begins. Let's slow it down and make it very simple. Think of a credit card like a very rich friend. This friend is always ready to help you pay for things. Anytime you want something, they step in and say, "Don't worry, I'll cover it." You go to a restaurant, they pay. You shop online, they pay. You travel, they pay. It feels amazing to have someone like that. But there is one rule. At the end of the month, that friend comes back and says, "Hey, everything I paid for you, I need it back." That is what a credit card really is. It is borrowed money, not free money, not extra money, borrowed money. Now, here is where things get serious. Let's say in 1 month, your rich friend spends $1,000 for you. At the end of the month, they ask for the $1,000 back. If you pay the full $1,000 immediately, everything is fine. No extra charges, no stress, no problem. But what if you don't have the full amount? What if you only pay $200? Your friend will say, "Okay, I'll wait. But since you're taking longer, I'm going to add a little extra." That extra is called interest. And this is how the system makes money. So now, instead of owing $800, you might owe $820, then $850, then even more. It keeps growing. Slowly at first, then faster than you expect. This is how people get into trouble. Not because they are foolish, but because they don't understand how quickly this can grow. Let's make it even simpler. Imagine you borrowed a toy from someone. They tell you, "If you don't return it on time, you'll have to give me extra toys." At first, it doesn't sound like a big deal, but if you keep delaying, you will owe more toys than you originally borrowed. That's exactly how credit cards work. Now let's talk about something important, the limit. Your rich friend doesn't give you unlimited money. They set a boundary. They might say, "You can borrow up to $2,000. That number is called your credit limit. It's the maximum amount you're allowed to borrow. If your limit is $2,000 and you've already spent $1,500, you only have $500 left to use. Once you reach the limit, you can't spend more until you pay some back. This is where many people get it wrong. They see the limit and think, "I have $2,000 to spend." But that's not true. What you really have is $2,000 of possible debt. The card doesn't show you what you own. It shows you what you can owe. Every month, your credit card sends you something called a statement. Think of it like a report of everything you did. It shows what you bought, how much you owe, and something very important, the minimum payment. Let's say you owe $1,000. The credit card company might say, "You only need to pay $50 this month." That sounds easy. It feels like a relief. But here's the hidden truth. If you only pay the minimum, the rest of the money doesn't disappear. It stays there, and interest is added. Month after month, you are still paying for something you bought a long time ago. This is how a $1,000 purchase can quietly turn into $2,000 or even more. Not all at once, but slowly, over time. It builds up in the background while you're living your life. Now imagine this in a different way. Picture yourself carrying a backpack. Every time you use your credit card, you put a small rock inside that backpack. At first, it feels light. 1 rock is nothing. 5 rocks, still okay. But you keep adding more. 10 rocks, 20 rocks, 50 rocks. After a while, the backpack becomes heavy. So heavy that it slows you down. That's what credit card debt feels like when it builds up over time. But here's something very important. Credit cards are not bad. In fact, they can be very powerful if you use them the right way. In the United States, there is something called a credit score. Think of it as a trust score. It shows how responsible you are with borrowed money. If you borrow money and pay it back on time, your score goes up. If you miss payments or carry too much debt, your score goes down. And this score matters a lot. It can affect whether you get approved to rent an apartment. It can affect your chances of getting a car loan. It can even affect job opportunities in some situations. A high score tells people you can be trusted. A low score makes people see you as risky. Your credit card is one of the main tools that builds that score. So now, the card becomes something different. It's not just for spending, it's a tool for building trust. And like any powerful tool, it depends on how you use it. Used wisely, it can open doors for you. Used carelessly, it can close them. So how do you use it wisely? It's simple, but it requires discipline. First, always remember, it is borrowed money. Every swipe is a promise to pay later. Second, try your best to pay the full amount every month. This is the most important rule. If you do this, you avoid interest completely. Third, don't spend just because you can. Your credit limit is not your budget. Just because the card allows it doesn't mean your life can support it. Fourth, keep your balance low. Even if your limit is high, using too much of it can hurt your credit score. And finally, always pay on time. Even one missed payment can cause damage. Now think about 2 people. They both have the same credit card. The first person uses it carefully. They only buy what they can afford. At the end of each month, they pay everything back. Over time, their credit score grows and opportunities open up for them. Life becomes easier financially. The second person uses the card freely. They swipe without thinking. They pay only the minimum. At first, life feels easy for them too. But over time, the debt grows, interest adds up, and stress begins to build. Same card, completely different results. The difference is not the card. The difference is understanding. That small piece of plastic in your wallet is not just a card. It's a system that can either work for you or work against you. And every single time you swipe, you are making a choice about which side you want to be on.